Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm going to look at a question that requires to solve two equations and two unknowns. The weights of cats on this question, you can see the weights of cats are normally distributed, and so we've got a normal distribution. And so there's a mean, there's a mean, and then there's a standard deviation. And it's 10% of cats weigh more than 1.8 kilograms. So 10%. 10% leaves 40%. So here we've got 10% area being more than 1.8 kilograms. So that's a 1.8 number there is 1.8. And then it says what is missing, 15% of cats. On the first line it's missing because it continues way less than. 15%, it's a bit more than 10%. So that's 15%, this area. And way less than 1.35, so that is 1.35, that line there. What we don't know is the standard deviation, and we don't know the mean. So we've got two situations, and we've got two unknowns. Now, the trick here is this formula, Z equals X minus mu, that's your deviation, divided by the number of standard deviations, that's the Z-score. Z-score is the number of standard deviations. Now you've got two situations. One where one has an area of 10% and the other is the area of 15%. So we've got to find the Z value. This is the X value, 1.8. And that's the other X value, 1.35. But we've got to find the Z value for 1.8. And we've got to find the Z value for 1.35. Find the Z value for 1.35. Okay, I'm going to go to the calculator and going to go interactive. I'll put this on the screen. We've got to find the Z value from the probability. So we're going to go in reverse. So we go interactive. We find we go down to the bottom menu, which says distribution. We actually want inverse. Interactive distribution. We want the inverse distribution. We want the reverse. So we press the distribution, inverse distribution. And because it's continuous, we go, oh no, we want the inverse. It is continuous, but we want to put the probability in and get the Z value. The other ones you've got to put the Z value in and get the probability. So press inverse and then go the inverse of the normal distribution, cumulative distribution function. Okay, so the inverse IMV, that's the first one. All right, so that will bring you to where we want, and then you get, we're going to be using the left tail first, left tail. The probability is 0.15 because we want probability to be 0.15 less than that line. Leave the standard deviation as 1 and the mean as 0 because that will give us our Z value. So therefore, the probability of a Z being less than negative 1.0364, that's your Z value, is approximately 0.15. So we found the Z value is negative 1.03, negative 1.04 approximately for that score. Now, let's do the right tail. That's this one over here, the right tail. And we use a probability of 0.10. So we'll go back, interactive, distribution, inverse, inverse normal, select right, and put the probability of 0.1, and OK that. And this is the probability that a Z value is greater than 1.28155 is about 10%. It's about 10%. Okay. So this Z value is 1.28. All right. So when everything to the right of 1.28 Z values, it'll be 10%. Everything to the left of negative 1.04 Z will be 15%. Okay, now we found that out, I'm going to delete this information. All right, we've already, we need this value here. Okay, let's find the two Z values. Well, we found the two Z values. Let's substitute this in, and okay, and the Z value is negative 1.0364. X value is 1.35 minus the mean over the standard deviation. That's one equation. Equation 1. Okay, equation 2, when the Z value is 1.28, Z value 1.28, 155 is equal to, the X value is 1.8 minus the mean over the standard deviation. That's our second equation. We can put that into the calculator and solve simultaneous equations. So I'm going to select the menu that looks like this. All right, I'm going to put comma. I'm going to put an X here. I'm going to put X there. On the calculator, I'll put a Y in that position for standard deviation, and then I'll be able to go comma XY, comma X, comma Y. All right. So when we have that vertical line, we put X, comma Y. So here we go. Keyboard. First equation. All right, I'm going to put negative 1.0364 equals X minus, 1.35 minus, I'll put X over Y. All right, the second equation, positive 1.28155 equals 1.8 minus our mean, X, over Y. Now put X, comma Y, X, comma Y after the vertical line, and hit execute. And it will say that X equals, so our mean equals 1.55. Is it 1 to 1 to 10? I'll just answer it to 1.5512. I'll use 4 decimal places. And our standard deviation is 0.1941. Okay, and that is how you solve this question, which gives you 2 situations. One to the left, 15%, and one to the right, 10%. So using the 15% to the left, you get the Z value of negative 1.0364. And using the 10% to the right, you get the Z value of 1.28155. From there, you use this formula, Z equals X minus mean over standard deviation. You get your 2 equations solved simultaneous, and you find your 2 values, the mean and the standard deviation. I hope this has helped.